So, what I'm about to share with you in this episode is going to upset some people. It always does, but I'm saying it anyway. The truth can be so hard to hear, but most times it's the hard things that bring meaning to your life. It's the hard things that impact you most. It's the hard things that chisel away at the person in the present so that you can become a stronger, grittier, more confident, beautiful you in the future. The hard things show you what you're capable of. They build confidence in your ability to do hard things in the future, and they inspire those who are watching. For us midlife moms, man, this is important. So there's so much more to unpack in this episode of the Intentional Midlife Mom podcast. This is one you're not going to want to miss.
Well, hey there, I am Jennifer Roskamp, a certified life coach and homeschool mom of 9 who is passionate about helping women just like you embrace the here and now while also being focused on creating the life you actually want. As a midlife mom in her 40s, about to be a mom in my 50s, I've realized that it's so easy to lose yourself in caring for your family, your home, and all the things. Until one day you realize you're not even sure who you are anymore or what you even want in life. So on this podcast, we're going to work on managing yourself well so that you can manage all of the other things and people well too. So let's dive into what it means to manage your home, your time, your family, and yourself well. This is the Intentional Midlife Mom podcast.
So there are two things I love more than any other things as a coach, and those are truths and those are mantras. So what is a truth? Basically, a truth is something foundational that I give you or teach you. It's something that you and I need to agree upon in order for you to embrace and move forward with something more in depth that I'm about to teach you. A mantra is an empowering statement on which you can hang your hat. It's something that will serve as an anchor, a springboard, a comforting reminder, and maybe even a kick in the pants when you recall and call upon the mantra. I so hope that you have a collection of mantras that can do this for you. And if you don't, you can listen to each Monday mantra episode right here in this podcast, and you can build up your own library of mantras. I have a list of mantras hanging right above my desk. I have a list of mantras written inside my planner. I have a bunch of mantras written as notes inside my phone. And I have a whole bunch of them on sticky notes in all areas around my house. You should do the same. But I've got some truths for you here today. Well, and then I've got some truths, 10 of them, that are really going to help you. And I've got a cool download for you too, by the way. So the first truth I have for you is that choosing to not do something is choosing to keep wrestling with your same problems. So first, I'm deep in creating my next coaching experience. It is going to be epic. And I hope to have it ready in early 2025, but I'm a realist enough to know that life has a way of messing up my timeline. But I've got a truth that I wrote in my teaching notes this week for my coaching program. And it's a truth that you just have to hear. Here it is. You're always choosing your hard. You're choosing the hard of challenging yourself or the hard of living with yourself in knowing that you did not choose the challenge and chose what felt easy instead. I know, ouch, right? Let me say that again. You're always choosing your hard. You're either choosing the hard of challenging yourself or you're choosing the hard of living with yourself in knowing that you didn't choose the hard or the challenge and you chose what felt easy instead. So as much as I wrote this truth for my new coaching experience, I actually wrote it even more so for myself. You see, I've been kind of skating by lately in so many things. I've allowed myself to turn away from the hard things because I've done so many hard things before. Essentially, I've been saying to myself, you deserve the easy things for a while. I've completed the 75 hard challenge 3 times. That's being committed and completing 75 days of hard things every day. And so in my mind, kind of feel like, you know what? You're an expert at doing hard things. And all of a sudden, I looked at myself and I thought, okay, yeah, but you're not doing the hard things right now. What's wrong with you? You know how to do the hard things. And I realized that I wasn't. Here's the thing. I've realized that when you choose the easy things, it really does mean that you've chosen to sacrifice the growth and the empowerment that happens on the other side of hard things. Think about it. You've experienced hard things before. You know that what I'm saying is true. You know that it's the growth you know that there is growth and empowerment. There is strength that comes on the other side of the hard thing. And here's the thing. I'm going to backpedal on that a little bit. And I'm actually going to say, just like I would remind my coaching clients, I remind them all the time, you don't have to wait until you get to the other side of the hard thing to experience the reward. You get just a few steps into doing the hard thing and you start to feel it. You start to feel stronger. You start to build that confidence. You start to feel proud. And you think to yourself, look at what I'm doing. I'm actually still alive. Have you ever had that before, right? You walk into a hard thing and in your mind, you're thinking, there's no way that I'm going to be able to do this. Essentially, your mind is going totally off on a tangent and lying to you. And if you were to admit it, you would know that you're feeling like, I'm not going to survive this, right? It's kind of the worst case scenario in the moment brain that I talk to my clients about. But you get a few days in and you look around and you say, my gosh, I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm surviving. And then you go a few more days and you realize, wow, I'm stronger than I thought. And then maybe you start to say a few more days down the road, maybe then you start to say, you know what? I actually don't feel like I'm just surviving anymore. Am I actually kind of thriving? Am I actually kind of doing okay with this? And then you start to notice, and then other people start to notice the change in you. Maybe it's because you speak with more confidence or you handle problems, situations, things that normally would have just kind of thrown you right over the edge. Well, maybe that's not happening quite so much anymore. And other people are noticing. That's where that's where us doing the hard things can become so powerful because we can inspire other people to handle their hard things. We can inspire other people to choose their growth and their positive strength and confidence and grit that comes on the other side of their hard things. And if you're a mom with kids watching, I don't know if there's something that our kids need more in today's world than grit and confidence in their abilities and to stand their ground and to stand up for what they believe in and to fight and to do the hard things and not back down, not allow their limiting beliefs to limit them. This is where you doing the hard things becomes so powerful. So I don't know about you, but I don't want to sacrifice the hard in the growth and the empowerment that happens on the other side of the hard thing. I actually choose that. This is really what I all came to realize in the past couple of weeks as I was really laying out this concept for my new coaching experience. Essentially and powerfully, I've realized I don't like the easy things. Each time that I was completing the 75 hard experience, there was some point in there where I had to do the normal hard thing, but life circumstances was taking that to the next level. I know that when I had to go out and do an outdoor walk for 45 minutes in a blizzard of driving wind and driving snow, I know that it was on that day that I said to myself, you know what? Let it be hard. Let it be hard. If I have to do it anyway, give me the most challenging experience because I'm going to test my growth, my grittiness, my confidence. I did not allow myself to feel one inkling of fear or questioning or my lack or a lack at all, a lack of ability to go out and walk in that blizzard. I knew I was going to survive that 45 minutes just fine. And I realized that it'd be hard. I want that. Not all the time, but I realized I really don't like the easy things. And really, as a coach to thousands of women for almost 10 years, I know you don't actually like the easy things either. So I'll say it again in case you were multitasking. Pay attention to what I'm about to say. I am confident that you, yes, you don't actually like choosing the easy things either. When the dust settles, you don't like it either. Just like me, you know that you are sacrificing the good stuff. You are sacrificing the good stuff in life by choosing the easy things. That's a powerful truth too. You are sacrificing the good stuff in life by choosing the easy things. So here are 10 more truths that will compel you to do the hard things. And by the way, I have a pretty little download PDF of these for you. We'll link to it down in the show notes. You can grab it for yourself. So number 1, any positive change that you want to make is going to cost you something. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you energy. It's going to cost you money. But any positive change that you want to make in life is going to cost you something. And this becomes a powerful truth because your brain is always calculating the cost. Whenever it is you're thinking about doing something, your brain is saying, oh, but do you really want to? And it's calculating the cost. So you go into that hard thing knowing that I recognize it's going to cost me something. Brain, I'm not afraid of that. I'm not opposed to that. I understand that. That's truth number 1. Truth number 2, with 75 days of hard things, I know this one's true. Number 2, some days you won't feel like doing the hard stuff. Some days you won't feel like doing the hard stuff. So don't be surprised when you don't feel like doing it. A lot of times when we realize, I don't feel like doing that, oh, well, then you don't have to do that. That's where your brain goes next. But with this truth, you can say, this is going to be hard and I don't feel like doing it. Oh, well, that can be your response. When you expect it, it makes it easier to overcome it. That's where these truths become so powerful. All 10 of these things are going to help you to actually step into the hard thing. Number 3. All right, so if number 2 said, some days you won't feel like doing the hard stuff, number 3 says, but no one is going to do it for you. No one can do your hard thing. Now, I'm not saying that people can't help you out. I'm not saying that you can't get help to overcome or make forward progress in something that is hard. But when it comes to doing your hard thing, no one is going to do it for you. Number 4 also piggybacks off that, and it says, no one can do it for you. No one can do your hard thing. You are it. Number 5 says, you won't do it perfectly, but you don't need to. As a coach, I know that people get stuck in perfection paralysis. And I get that. I am a firstborn only child. So if you think about what that means, you know what a typical firstborn is, right? Type A, super perfectionistic. Well, when you are an only child, you're basically a firstborn on steroids. Now, let me give you some clarification. I actually do have siblings, but I was almost 9 years old before my first sibling was born. And so by the birth order experts, that makes me an only child. And I would say that is super accurate. I would say I am a firstborn on steroids. And so I get this whole concept of perfection paralysis. And maybe that's why I'm so good at helping my clients with it as a coach. Maybe that's why I recognize it and know how much perfection paralysis gets woven into so many of our best intentions. Maybe it's why I get so good at, maybe it's how I got so good at recognizing it in my life, but then also recognizing it in the lives of my clients. And when you recognize it, you can overcome it. You have to be willing to accept that chances are, with 99.9% accuracy, whatever the hard thing is that you're trying to make progress on, and that you show up and you make progress on time and time and time again, you aren't going to do it perfectly. But know that you don't need to. The majority of the things that we do in life do not require perfection, which is a good thing because perfection is rarely attainable. So, number 5, you won't do it perfectly. When you're looking at doing a hard thing, know that you won't do it perfectly, but that you don't need to. Number 6, doing hard things will never be easy. They can feel easier, right? But they will never be easy. You can get better at them, right? Actually, I'm stealing some of my thunder here for a minute. Number 6 says, doing hard things will never be easy. Number 7 says, but you can, in all caps, bolded, underline that, but you can do hard things. I hope you're writing these down, by the way. And if you're not, don't worry. You can get that printable of these down in the show notes. Make sure you grab it. You don't even have to write these down. I've written them down for you. All right, number 7, but you can do hard things. Number 8, you get better at doing hard things. That's kind of what I mean when I said they can start to feel easier, because you can get better at doing hard things. This is one of the main reasons, one of the primary reasons why I complete the 75 hard challenge. For most people, doing it once is enough to say you've done it. And that's honestly why I went into it. It was something that for 2 years, I had other high achiever friends and colleagues who had done it, tell me, you need to do this. Like this is going to teach you so much about yourself. And I kept running from it. I don't want to commit to doing something for 75 days. That's crazy. Really kind of one of the biggest arguments I had with myself was, you're not going to have time to do all these things. By the way, this is not my challenge. You can look it up. 75 hard challenge. Just look it up. You'll be able to see the different things you have to do every day. But one of the things you have to do every day, actually 2 of them, is you need to do a 45-minute workout twice. And by the way, you can't just piggyback those together and do an hour and a half on those really busy days. You are required to find the time twice for 45 minutes. If you don't already know this about me, I've got 9 kids. 8 of them are still living at home. Many of them don't drive. They are very busy. Oh, and by the way, I homeschool those kids too. And I run a business and I'm a coach for women. I don't have time to do that. That's what I kept telling myself. And that's why I ran away from it. But when I did it, clearly it was impactful because I've now done it twice more. And you know what? Today I am on day 4 of my 4th go round of the 75 hard challenge. And this time I'm taking a small group of coaching clients with me. We're doing it together. But for me to do it 4 times, that's valuable. There is something there that you need to open your mind to and consider. All right, but you can do hard things. And number 8, you can get better at doing hard things. Number 9, doing hard things feels amazing. Prove me wrong. Think back to any time in your life that you have done a hard thing. Did you actually get to the back end of that? Did you actually get to the point where you were done with doing that hard thing? You completed it. You achieved it, no matter how messy it was, no matter the outcome. Did you get to the end of doing that hard thing and feel worse about yourself? I'm guessing not. In fact, I know not. I help women do hard things every single day. I help my kids do hard things every single day. I know that doing hard things feels amazing. And sometimes that's one of the only things you have to hang your hat on. When I started the 75 Hard Challenge for the first time, all I could go on was what my friends and colleagues told me because it looks crazy. Doing hard things feels amazing. Number 10, the hard things are the things that impact us most. The hard things are the things that impact us the most. So let me really quick run through all 10 of these again. And again, you can get a pretty little download PDF of this. You can print this off and you can stick it someplace where you can read it every day. I made it easy for you. Hey, look at that. We're talking about hard things and I made it easy for you. You're welcome. All right, number 1, any positive change you want to make is going to cost you something. Number 1. Number 2, some days you won't feel like doing the hard stuff. Number 3, but no one is going to do it for you. Number 4, no one can do it for you. Number 5, you won't do it perfectly, but you don't need to. Number 6, doing hard things will never be easy. Number 7, but you can do hard things. Number 8, you can get better at doing hard things. Number 9, doing hard things feels amazing. And number 10, the hard things are the things that impact us the most. Remember what I said way back at the beginning? Choose your hard stuff, right? Choosing to not do something is choosing to keep wrestling with your same problems. Because you know what? When you get better at doing hard things, that means you're going to do more hard things. That means you're going to have to wrestle with your same problems less because you're not going to be running from your problems. You're not going to be accepting defeat. You are not going to be accepting the idea that I am not capable. You are going to have confidence. You are going to have grit. You are going to have strength instead. So my new coaching experience is going to be powerful beyond anything you've ever experienced before. When you've sought to learn, when you've tried to transform yourself in some way, and when maybe you've had to start over or try again, this coaching experience is going to be like nothing you've ever seen. Make sure you're on the waiting list so that you can get the information first about this opportunity. Being first comes with a lot of advantages and bonuses. So we've got a link down in the show notes for that as well. Make sure you get on the waiting list. You're not obligated to anything, but being the first to buy into the coaching experience, to come in and join. By the way, I think there's going to be a challenge on the front end too, just saying. But being the first means you're going to get the best of everything. So make sure you're on that waiting list. So I don't know who needs to hear this today, but doing hard things is one of the best things that you can do in life. Don't let your limiting beliefs limit you. What if you just trusted? What if you, like me, stopped running from doing hard things? What if you were willing to embrace this whole concept of what if? What if I could do it? What if I could actually do that? You've got me telling you it's amazing. Maybe today's your day to get curious and consider. I challenge you. Make today your day to get curious and to step into it, knowing that all I've got to do is step. I'll figure the other stuff out when I get there. That's my challenge to you today. Make sure that you grab the download below. Make sure that you are on that waiting list. Also linked below. Until we talk again, make it an intentional day.